Well, at first, I didn't exist. It was total blackness. Then, for some weird reason, God felt compelled to create my existence. He flipped me into humanity at the most appropriate place, McDonald's. That's when I got my first taste of Jell-O. Yum. I teamed up with a hobo named Collins. We planned on getting to Costa Rica in a short while, if all went well. He was a wonderful companion. I felt as if he was a sort of a father figure to me. When we got to Costa Rica, we played putt-putt. It was fun. But I soon grew wary and depressed. Decided to hitch a ride back to the United States of America. Arriving later in that week, I was exhausted, so I found somewhere to crash. Had a strange dream about carrots, cucumbers, and Jell-O. Then a goon in a monk's robe woke me up by pissing on me. Damn! He grabbed me by the arm and sat me down and intensely taught me how to play pinochle. That's when I noticed his devious intention to turn me into a heroin addict. I struggled, but it was in vain. For a while there, I was really hitting the streets hard. I constantly needed to have a fix. I stole toys from small children to maintain my habit. After a while, I came to my senses, though. Cleaned up my act by hanging out at industrial plants. It was soul-searching. The person who really helped me get over this difficult part of my life was a jolly giant named Duck. I love this guy. He became my best friend I ever had. I'll never forget him. I went to a Woodstock festival and joyously blew bubbles. I found a quaint bistro that served my favoriteest dish on the whole entire earth. The service was great. I found myself frequenting the place quite often. Then I decided it was time to move on. I did extensive adventures traveling through the woods and climbed mountains. But out of nowhere, a bunch of female hoodlums abducted me. They proceeded to beat me and submit me to heinous acts of unspeakable sexual kinkiness. Then they dissed me, leaving me to lick my battered wounds on the streets. They got me pregnant. When I went into labor a week later, I didn't know what was happening. I gave birth to a healthy pickle. I gave it up for adoption, though, because I knew I couldn't possibly give it a healthy uprising. I went crazy and started stealing shopping carts. My mental health started to deteriorate. I had a fit of melancholy blues. I went to Inspiration Point and played sax on the pier, serenading some skinny dippers. Brought a tear to my eye. Later, I got white lung disease. Then accidentally stuck a fork into my toaster. The shock was a horrible blow to my health. My doctor and nursemaid kept a constant vigil for me, trying to do all they could. My last humble request was a cigarette and Jell-O. When I died, Jesus came. He did a dance on my stomach, signifying that my time had finally come. I was buried shortly thereafter in one of those graves you see, but since I'm underground, I can't see exactly which one, but you get the point. Death is total blackness.